to get into it, but right now we're going to send it off to our PA announcer, Dwayne Bowles, for player introductions.
Yeah, it's about that time, Zach. The atmosphere is here, and Dwayne's going to take it away.
introductions done. We're on our way for the start of this game. And like I said before, Happy New Year to everybody tuning in. Matt, I cannot wait for this one to get underway. We have two solid squads.
Partner, it's so good to have basketball back. And, of course, these student athletes getting essentially the whole month of December off. But we're back, baby. It's almost time for tip-off, and the Conestoga Condors, head coached by sixth-year head coach Dee Channer, spoke with her before the game. They're looking to get some revenge from the earlier season loss. Humber went to Conestoga, the Kitchener-Waterloo area, picked up the W. Now the Hawks with a home game. See if they can win the season series or if Conestoga can perhaps give Humber their first loss of the season.
And like you said, it was back, all the way back in November 13th. Humber took that game 77-62. And they're going to look to try to take this one. Going down low to Kaya Clark. Post up Jay, not going to fall, but Bapti going down for the rebound. But Conestoga is going to be able to take it the other way here as they're going to try to find the first basket.
Conestoga has two players in the top 10 of scoring, so two very potent offensive weapons. There's a two-ball basket by Rumla Abdallah.
And you were talking about Conestoga kind of having that vicious attack. It's all on the back of Yasmin, or as we were told, Yazzie Smith.
Yazzie Smith, number 10. Now, fifth-year player, Zach, so very experienced. This is actually Yazzie's first year with the Condors, and she's leading not just her team, but the entire province in scoring, averaging 21.6 points per game. Now, her teammate, Megan White, is ninth in the province in scoring. She has 16.5 points per game as Yazzie misses a shot there.
Rebounded by Bapti and just taken the other way. Three attempt, no, off the back rim and rebounded by Conestoga. But I want to counter you with this. On the other side for the Hawks, look out for number 23, Kaya Clark. Last game they had before the new year, she had a monster day with 30 points, 6 rebounds, and since joining the Hawks, she has been sensational, leading the team in points per game at 16.4, rebounds per game with 7.3. She's second on the team in field goal percentage as well as three-point percentage, so watch out for her to have a good game here.
And, you know, we talk about Humber, the Kaya Clark being in the 10th for scoring in the province as we get a nice finger roll off the glass there by Marley Bonnick, a very dominant player for Humber. But Humber has so much depth that, you know, you just don't really see players getting those kind of minutes to perhaps lead the league in scoring. So maybe not a true indication of maybe scoring dominance by Conestoga. Humber certainly very powerful offensive weapons.
We know they have a very powerful offensive side, but the defense is just as strong. The backcourt duo of Sarah Bapti and Kia Watt have been sensational on turning the defense into those fast break opportunities. We saw it all throughout November, and they're trying to create it once again. So far, we've had a really good back and forth game.
Yeah. 2.5 minutes in. Condors with the ball. Zach, Condors versus the Hawks. It's a battle of the birds.
A good old battle of the birds. Trying to find something here is Conestoga. The little floater not going to go. Bonnick down low with the rebound, and that's something else I want to touch on. The interior defense has been dominant for the Hawks as they're averaging around 51 rebounds a game. And now we got Chateau, just bounce pass over to Bapti. Nice little spin around move on the shoulder, and Sarah Bapti has a basket.
Now, Zach, number 10, Yazzie Smith, of course, we mentioned leading the OCAA in scoring, and she's in number 10 for the Condors. An outstanding player, but tell you what, Condors down by 4, and you know, it was very close last time these two teams played, Zach. It was a neck close in the first quarter, but as the game went on, Humber just continued to expand that lead. So we'll see if tonight's game takes on a similar dynamic.
Should be a good one.
Looks like a couple fresh players will be checking in for the Condors on the next whistle here.
Shot by Kia Watt, not going to go. Tried for the steal, but it's not going to happen. Bonnick down low, going to try for the block, nothing. Watt gets the rebound, and she's fast breaking the other way. Ooh, nice move down low, and the foul is called, so she'll go to the line to shoot 2. And, you know, we touched on Yazzie Smith, but she's averaging 21.6 points per game with 90 rebounds on the year as well. So like you said, dominant player all around for Conestoga. Someone the Hawks definitely need to look out for and maybe put an extra attacker.
Yeah, you're right about that. And one thing about the Condors is they have a lot of players who play a lot of minutes. So perhaps Humber has the advantage there. Towards the end of the game, fatigue may not be as much of a factor for Humber, where you have some Condors players who, boy, they play a lot of minutes. And Zach, I know me and you've shot around the basketball. Me and you are huffing and puffing after a couple three-pointers. These ladies got to run up and down the court for 40 minutes.
Three-pointers, I'm huffing and puffing after a layup. But shots good there by Kia Watt. Humber is in the lead 8-2 now. And again, the interior defense right there, as well as the perimeter. It's a good steal, taking it the other way. As the Hawks trying to build off something here, create the lead. And a hard pass by Chateau. Meant for Watt, just went off the fingertips there. So it'll be a turnover.
How you feeling, Zach? You feel like you accumulated any rust? We didn't do any broadcasts for the whole month of December. All these players were in the books working on their exams and such. How you feeling, partner?
Trying to shake off the rust. You know, like you said, it's been, what, a month and a half, maybe, since the last broadcast.
I don't think rust's going to be much of a factor for the players. I mean, you have a team in the Condors who had a tournament action, some exhibition play, the Sheridan tournament over the holiday break. So, you know, talking to Coach Channer for Conestoga, she thinks that's helped them be in sync. Now, that was an out-of-sync play there as Bonnick passed it out of bounds, out of reach of Kia. And that's a turnover. And
like you said, playing those games during the break really does help in the sense of, you know, you don't get rusty, you don't get cold, you're still in the game atmosphere. Coming into this one, Conestoga sits 3-5 on the year, and they're currently riding a 2-game losing streak, while on the other side, the Hawks are 8-0, and Marley Bonnick trying to go for basket down low there, unfortunately not able to get it.
Yeah, Hawks don't convert there on the opportunity, but a great defensive effort by Chateau. She got in the passing lane, created that opportunity. Fortunately, Hawks are not able to convert. Their lead remains 8-2.
Kia Watt, just great defense right there down low. Trying to go for the shot. Beat the shot clock. Indeed does, but doesn't go in. Could have been called for up and down, but refs don't see it. Driving down and will be called a double dribble. And familiar face is getting ready to check on in. It's national champion Brittany English. She is back better than ever, playing for the Hawks here in her 5th year.
Yeah, no doubt. Great to have that experience on the court for Humber as a nice open lane down low for the Condors.
It's the battle down low, and this is what I said. You got to win the rebounds. That's what Humber's so good at. Going coast to coast with Chateau there. Unfortunately, couldn't drop. As Bapti will check back in place of Kia Watt.
Let's give our props to number 20 for Humber, Sydney Crawford. Great work down low, creating an opportunity, but Chateau unable to convert on the layup. Seen a few missed layups from both teams here, Zach, and it's been a rather low-scoring affair. We're over 5 minutes into the game, and Condors only with one basket.
Maybe a little bit of rust has accumulated.
Maybe.
You never know. And 7 seconds in the backcourt, so another turnover as these two teams really just trying to get their footwork in, you know, maybe a little jitters. First game of the new year, you want to impress your coach. Yeah. I believe another player on the side of the Hawks would check in. It's May Del Mundo coming in for Nicole Chateau. And it's the revolving door factor we've seen a lot from this Hawks team. You know, keep the legs fresh. They have such a deep bench that they're able to do that every game. Sydney Crawford with the three, not going to drop. Off the rim, rebounded there by Conestoga, and they're going to take it the other way.
Yeah, I think both teams definitely looking to establish their rhythm. It's a long time off not playing a regular season game. And sure, you can have those kind of exhibition tune-ups, but this is the intensity of a regular season game. And Humber, number 1 in the province with an 8-0 record. The Condors 3-5 on the season. That's good enough for the 10th ranking in Ontario.
Camila Oriana LaRoche right there. Getting the rebound and fighting through. I believe it was 2 bodies to get that basket. And that's the second basket scored here by Conestoga. Like you said, maybe it's just gotta get back into the swing of things a little bit.
Humber did have some holiday action themselves. They did have a matchup against an OUA opponent. That rings out.
And gets her own rebound again, Oriana LaRoche.
I think I heard through the grapevine Humber had a game against the York Lions. Kind of stay, not rusted over the holiday break. But yeah, it certainly seems like maybe a bit of a holiday lull. I mean, a part of that too is, maybe you're like me, Zach. I was eating a lot over the holidays. I'm still kind of working off a little extra of that turkey.
For sure,
sweets.
I feel that 100%.
High pass for Crawford, who manages to keep it in bounds.
Nice pass out to Del Mundo for 3. Off the rim, not going to fall. The offensive side of things for the Hawks, unfortunately, just really hasn't gone into fruition. It's not the dominance we've typically seen out of them. But for now, that's okay because their defense will just continues to kind of bail them out. I really also love the play that they have with the steals per game. They're averaging 11.5, and really, they've used their defense. I said it earlier. They've used their defense to really project that offense to score. Those fast break opportunities come so quick with this squad. As Bapti trying to find something, going to go to the corner. And the ball gets stripped away. And Conestoga is going to go right back the other way. And once again, it's Oriana LaRoche.
Yeah, she's checked in the game, made a big impact for the Condors. Number 21 in black here. There she is with the rock down low.
Another rebound. Fighting off defenders, not going to fall.
Yeah,
almost got another one.
Yeah, LaRoche working against Del Mundo. That ball just kind of popped up to Bapti.
Kaya Clark down low, fighting and getting the basket. That's the strength and the power down low.
And here's the OCAA's leading scorer, Yazzie Smith, who hands it off to Oriana LaRoche.
Out of bounds, it'll be Hawks ball. We'll have another substitution here. Rumla Abdallah will be the one checking out, and then checking on in, it will be number 2, Courtney Harley. And I want to mention, as Abdallah was coming off, you can kind of see she motioned to the coach saying sub off. She went down about 2-3 minutes ago, landed up maybe awkwardly on the knee, so hopefully she'll be okay for the rest of the game. Obviously, player safety, most important.
Yeah, she's not getting tended to by the training staff, so hopefully nothing too serious there. Rebound by English.
And that's the play from Brittany English that if you're just starting to watch Humber Hawks basketball this year, last year Brittany English was dominant on the board. She didn't care that she doesn't have the height there. She will fight for every single board down low, and she's very, very good at doing so.
Great camera angles there on that drive by Kia Watt. Props to the camera crew at the Hawks Sports Network. Humber up by 3. Zach, it really has been kind of shake the rust off despite some of these tune-up game opportunities both clubs have had.
Just trying to get used to it again.
It's a new
drive
year.
Down low. And here, I think that was Bapti just yelling, "Good block!"
Yeah,
just holding off the
I
body.
couldn't quite pin down who yelled like that, but I like to see the intensity.
You gotta love it, right? When the players get into it and the intensity just gets bigger and bigger, it's fun to watch.
Ride the wave of emotion.
Watt. Hello. Draining the 3. And that's a big shot there for number 8, who was one of 2 of the dynamic duo last year for the Hawks. Kind of stepping up into a more of a leadership role for sure this year and showing why. Shot off. Rebounded by Bapti. Outlet pass. Down low, just over the head of Bonnick. Very, very close for 2 points there.
Zach, of note, the 2 top scoring players for the Condors still not on the board yet. And stolen away. Here's Crawford going to work.
And just great effort down low right there by Sydney Crawford. Steals the ball away, fights through 2 defenders to get the basket. And yeah, like you said, the defense has really stepped up, and maybe that's the game plan coming from head coach AJ Sharma. It just shut down those 2 key players. Fast break opportunity, Kia Watt drive in. She'll get the foul and go to the line to shoot 2. But another big thing, head coach AJ Sharma in his 11th year, 201 wins, 30 losses. He got that 200th win back in November, so shout out to Coach Sharma right there. But he has brought a good squad day in and day out for Humber.
200 wins.
201.
I don't have 201 of anything. Not even dollars.
Not even dollars. It's a struggle. It's a struggle of us, but we'll get there eventually. Watt misses both shots, but Kaya Clark down low getting that rebound and a nice nifty pass to Bonnick.
Bonnick coming into 2023. Ready to pick up where she left off. That was outstanding work by Bonnick offensively.
The defense right now on Yazzie by Crawford has just been sensational. It'll still be Conestoga ball, I believe. Yes, it will. But the defense aspect right now of the Hawks has been so strong to start off this first quarter. Nice move down low, not going to go.
Missed inside shots. The Condors have a tough time. This last second here.
Kaya Clark, no. From our angle for a second, I thought maybe that was going to go in, but no. It will miss, and after 1, the Hawks are up 17-7, and really, it's just been a defense-first kind of mindset, Matt.
Yeah, I would say that has really just been a game that's lacked that kind of rhythm. We've seen lots of turnovers, missed pass, missed layups, and I think you could chalk that up, I suppose, to the fact that these teams pretty well haven't played a regular season game in about a month, and that'll kind of take you out of the rhythm, and that's, I guess, a reality every year after the holiday break in the OCAA. But, Zach, interestingly enough, Humber finished this quarter with 17 points. That's also the same amount of points they had in the matchup against Conestoga earlier in the season after 1 quarter. But the difference is here, last time these teams played, it was 17-16 after 1. Now it's a much bigger lead for Humber, up 10 here going into the first intermission.
You said it, partner, and it really just comes down to that defense. And we'll take some more looks here. Humber had it rocking on both sides of the court. Defense right there, and it's been shutting down Yazzie Smith, really just not allowing her to get anything going, because Conestoga, they know it's get her the rock, get her the ball, and let her start cooking. But unfortunately, so far she hasn't been able to get into that rhythm, and that's just due to the interior defense of the Hawks.
And you can credit Humber's defense, but I mean, we saw on that play, really, that was a pretty hard shot off the backboard and a miss from in tight. So that to me also suggests, again, going back to that point we've been making, players just a bit out of rhythm. As Bapti with a nice spin move, she's not out of rhythm. That was a pretty looking finish. And here's a look at Conestoga on offense, and that time definitely give the credit to Humber's D on the initial run there, but we've been talking about number 21, Camila Oriana LaRoche, who's been pretty good off the bench for the Condors.
Yeah, before the game, we went up to the head coach, obviously want to get everybody's pronunciation right of the names. And you had Camila come over to you, just say, I'm sorry.
She apologized for her difficult to pronounce name, but it is me and Zach who should be apologizing. Zach and I, as we're confident we're close in our pronunciation. Maybe not nailing it, but Camila.
It's like they say, I'm only human.
Camila, great basketball player and very friendly in the pregame chat. Now here she is with the rock down low for the Condors.
Wide open here, shot up, not gonna fall. That was Beth Fleming. And we're still going, here we go. Kia Watt, just at the logo. Back-to-back move there with Bapti. Bapti goes for 3, just a little bit too hard, but rebounded by Kaya. Continues strong rebounding. Bonnick shoots for 3 now. A little bit too hard. And Bapti down low. And it's just the offensive boards right now for the Hawks are really showing strong. Bonnick down low, trying to find something. Going to shoot it out to Kaya for three, not going to fall. I thought somebody was going to get there for the Hawks once again, but finally Conestoga able to get it out of their side.
Ramla Abdallah looking to set things up for the Condors. That one is a little close to that center line, almost the over and back violation, and now looks like Humber's picking up a foul as Abdallah looks like she got bonked in the nose.
And I believe it was on Sarah Bapti. He said white 15. So, and somehow with the headset on, the ears still work, man.
There you go. My eyes and ears. Zach Benoit, great broadcast partners.
Up for three, not going to go.
And you know who shot that? Megan White, who is, again, like we mentioned, a very elite scorer in the province of Ontario, as she takes a hard hit down low.
And it was Kaya Clark just going in with aggression right there. Shot was unable to fall. But now, you know, this is kind of what we thought we would see from Conestoga, was just that more fast-paced offense.
And I'll tell you what, Humber perhaps trying to counter fast-paced offense of the Condors with Humber's very physical brand of basketball. I mean, we talked about Sarah Bapti kind of yelling about the nice box out. I mean, this is a team who's got the energy, got the intensity, and we've seen in the past few minutes are playing very physical. And in a game that looks like it's going to be a low score, perhaps that physicality could be a difference maker.
Always a nice pass cross court. And a beautiful dime right there by Chateau to Bapti, cutting on the inside at the baseline.
Bapti's got 4 now on the evening.
Yeah, I said it earlier. Chateau has the really good ability of playing both sides of the ball. Plays defense very, very well, but still a huge offensive threat. Another foul called.
So we talked about the physical brand of basketball Humber's leaning on, Zach. Here's a second look of
going up for the shot. You know, sometimes you got to get a little bit strong down low. And Kaya Clark just doing exactly that.
And back in real time, got Yazzie Smith.
And she gets her first point of the game. So if you're on the side of Conestoga, you kind of hope maybe this is what fires up Yazzie to get going.
A missed free throw.
But rebounded by Conestoga, stolen away, and that's Kia Watt once again. Driving down, nice drop pass to Bonnick.
Wow. And you know, Kia really set that up earlier in the game. She had a very quick dash to the hoop that time. Made it look like she was doing that quick dash to the hoop, but just like you said, a beautiful drop pass to Bonnick.
After the game, we got to find out what Kia Watt's 40 time is, because she gets down the court so quickly.
We'll get the stopwatch. We'll see if she's up for it after the final whistle. And maybe it's the purple shoes.
I mean, maybe. Shoots for three now. No, not going to fall off the rim, and Conestoga taking it the other way. But look how quick the Hawks get on defense. And blocking or charge, I believe. I think it was the charge. Yes,
yeah.
It was, but
who else? Kia Watt taking that.
Do it all. Courtney Harley, as well as Taylor Doyle, check in. Flip side of Conestoga, and here we go. Just under 7 minutes left here in the second quarter. First game of the 2023, excuse me, I almost said 2023 season. Kia Watt, nice drive down the baseline. And keep it going, Kia Watt. As she's really just projecting her squad. Foul down low, and it'll again be on
Sydney Crawford.
Sydney Crawford, but Yasmin Smith. Oh, no, excuse me. Taylor Doyle will be the one going to line. Thought it was on Yazzie.
Republic of Doyle. Taylor Doyle in her third year with the program. Third year of OCAA basketball.
That was a good one. Off that rim and out. Brittany English checks back in.
Zach, these teams will be hoping to make their way to the OCAA Championship starting March 3rd at Niagara College. Niagara Knights hosting Women's OCAA Championships this year. Humber's liking their chances, 8-0 so far. I'm looking to go 9-0 with a win tonight.
Last win was also against Niagara Knights. Kia Watt goes over the shot and gets her own rebound. And just, maybe get a little stat pad in there. Get the rebound chalked on as well.
Well, you're kind of eating away at that field goal percentage, but I guess it's a give and take.
Great defense down low right there. Again by Sydney Crawford. It's just been a great matchup. She's been put onto Yazzie Smith. Doyle now for three, not going to go. Rebounded by English. And it's the nice outlet pass to Watt. Trying to get something down the baseline, unable to. Off the foot, and here we go.
Foot speed. And the finish. Yazzie Smith adding to her point total, now with 5 on the evening. Or just 3. Perhaps that was her 3rd point of the night, pardon me.
And obviously, if you're the side of the Hawks, you don't want her to get cooking. Shot up. It's good. Nice shot right there by Warham.
Good shot there from Tasia. Now, the other lead scorer for the Condors, number 13, Megan White, still scoreless tonight. Here she is with the ball. Let's see if she can get cooking. Obviously, the Hawks would like to pump the brakes on both top scorers for the Condors, number 10 and number 13.
Shot up, not going to go. Kia Watt gets the rebound and hands it off. But here we go. Watt, once again, that speed just coming down, going coast to coast. And Tasia with a nice finish.
Kia Watt looking extra speedy tonight, and we know her to be a very effective player for Humber. But this is a whole other level here tonight.
Interior still holding strong there, but foul is called, I believe, on Watt. Kaya Clark checking in, as well as Sarah Baptiste. Oh, never mind. They'll be checking in, I believe, after the shot. As well as 2 players on Conestoga checking in.
And a timeout, first one of the game, is called by the Condors.
And really, from the side of the Condors, what do you kind of want to see, Matt, out of their team? 13 points, almost done here in the second quarter. What's something you're hoping to see out of this team?
Well, this game is looking eerily similar to the first matchup between these two teams, where Humber established the lead and it just kept growing, and it looks like that might be the thing that's happening here tonight. And there's another look at that 3 ball from the Hawks. And the Hawks went into this quarter up by 10. They now lead by 17. And if I'm the Condors, Zach, I'm going to have to see things get cleaned up pretty quick, because, again, we're really just looking at a pretty similar mold of what happened last game. Humber's lead just growing throughout the game. And obviously, if the Condors want to right the ship and hand Humber their first loss, they're going to have to clean things up and find a way to get the scoring activated, because right now those key players for the Condors, Yazzie Smith, Megan White, to name 2 of their best scorers, pretty quiet here so far, whereas Humber is really starting to kind of pick up offensively. If you've noticed in the past couple of minutes, you've seen Kia Watt really dishing the ball, doing some nice looking stuff there. So, I don't know. I like the Hawks right now.
Well, in this game, you would have imagined that it would just be a super high-scoring game. Humber Hawks featuring the highest-scoring offense in the OCAA, and Conestoga ranking 4th right behind them. So, I mean, you would have thought this would just be a slugfest between the 2 teams, but Humber really just dialing it down on defense. As both shots missed the line there, but rebounded by Yazzie Smith, and that's another basket for her. Trying to get things going here again on the Hawks side. Tasia Warham, nice pass down low to Kaya Clark. Foul called. And Kaya will go to the line shooting 2. I was impressed with the side of Humber's rebounds, but looking as well on the side of Conestoga, they have 70 coming into tonight's game, so another team that's very good down low.
Humber leads the province in so many critical categories, right? The most rebounds per game, the most three-pointers made per game, field goal percentage. I mean, that's no wonder they're not only the #1 team in the province, but also ranked #4 in the entire country.
Yeah, getting the chance last year to watch some of the players who were veterans as well as rookies, and just watching this team now, you can kind of get the sense that this team, a little bit hungrier. Cindy Crawford, nice corner three, and she gets rewarded for her amazing defense so far tonight with that one right there.
Yeah, over the course of the season, we've been watching every Humber game here, you and I, and really seeing the team, you'd have to say, kind of gelling and growing, and a real synergy effect that, I don't know, I think if they keep on this trajectory, it's really just going to be an even better version of the Humber Hawks team towards the end of the season than we had at the beginning.
For sure. Bench is just deeper than ever when it comes to talent. Tasia trying to go for a nifty shot down low, but not going to fall. Conestoga off hits one of their players, I believe it was Oriana, the one that tipped off it. So Hawks will continue to have possession. As Del Mundo checks in there for Crawford.
Sydney Crawford, a fan favorite, will take a breather. She's been playing excellent so far tonight. Part of why the Hawks are now up by 20 points here, Zach.
Down low, Kaya unable to get anything going, and Conestoga shutting down Humber's big player.
Zach, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Humber men's team taking on the Conestoga men's squad right after this game, and that is a tight contest we expect between two of the top teams, not just in the province but in the country. So stay tuned for that 8 p.m. scheduled tip-off, or 30 minutes after the conclusion of this game.
And
here on the Hawks Sports
Network. Should be a good one. We were lucky for the first game here in 2023 for both teams. It was just going to be a great matchup. Conestoga has a good basketball program. Shot there missed, and Sarah Baptiste diving, saving the ball, and that's laying it all on the line right there.
Yeah, she's had the intensity really maxed out here tonight. It's great to see, diving for that ball.
And that's a first I've seen here at the Hawks Nest from a player. Now English for three, not going to drop. Baptiste fighting again. Gives off to Kaya for three, not going to go. English down low, and just phenomenal play all around by the Hawks. Baptiste everywhere on the court. English as well, just getting behind enemy lines, getting the rebound and finishing that play off. But phenomenal play here from the Hawks in the closing stages of the second quarter.
Yeah, if you're Humber head coach A.J. Sharma, boy, that's exactly the kind of play you like to see. Intensity, good team effort, distributing the ball as English takes a spill. Hawks setting back up on offense.
I'm curious, what does Baptiste have in the bag of tricks now?
Ooh.
Nice crossover to Del Mundo for three in the corner, not going to go. Conestoga rebounds it as they take it the other way. Just over a minute remaining here. Hawks lead at 37-15. Down low, not going to fall. And the defense again on Yazzie Smith has just been so strong. Trying to cut down the baseline was Del Mundo. Unfortunately, couldn't get around their defender. As we're going to have three substitutions. Kaya coming off for Kia Watt, as well as Sarah Baptiste and May Del Mundo. And we see Marley Bonnick come on.
With just under a minute left in the half. And Humber, Zach, you would imagine just want to keep things going the way they're going, not give Conestoga any hope here in the last 60 seconds to maybe get that offensive rhythm established, because it certainly has been not there so far.
Three attempts here, not going to fall. Rebounded by Tasia.
That was a good shot, though, from Megan White. That thing was good line. We had a good angle on it from the broadcast booth here, so keep an eye for number 13 in Conestoga.
Still have yet to find something that falls into the net. Trying to cut the corner there was Kia Watt. Pass going around, shot up, in and out of the rim. That was newly entered Allen. Jaleisha Allen for that one right there. And with 8 seconds left, this should do it for the second quarter. Shot up, not gonna go. Kia Watt, half-court attempt. Tried her best, but it went off the rim and out, and that'll do it for the first half of basketball between the visiting Conestoga Condors and the hometown Humber Hawks. And Matt, we were treated to a good one here.
No doubt. I mean, you certainly saw a lot on display from Humber. I think both teams started out slow. The Hawks really got into gear. We just have not seen Conestoga really kick it up yet. And again, you can give credit to Humber, but I think we could see from both teams a bit of that holiday hangover. And we'll be excited to see how this thing wraps up here right after a brief 15-minute intermission.
Yeah, like you said, we'll take the 15 minutes. We'll be right back with more action. So if you need a drink, you need to use the bathroom, now's the time to do it. We'll be right back. back, everybody. Hope you were able to, get a little bit of a break in between the halves. We have a good game going on here, but one more time, we'll take a quick look here at our 2023 OCAA Women's Basketball standings. Humber atop 8-0. They've really been dominant all year long. You can't see them on the screen right now, but Conestoga sits in 6th place. They're 3-5, trying to turn the ship around. They're losers of their last 2, so they're trying to, change it, fix up that momentum, trying to get something going. It's been a little bit of a rocky road, actually, against the Humber Hawks. In their last 8 meetings, Humber has actually won all of them. An all-time record against Conestoga, Humber sits a perfect 20-0. So it's very, very difficult. You have that history, you have that knowledge, Matt, of, our team has never beaten the Hawks before. Does that weigh on the players a little bit?
Yeah, you got to think it's also an opportunity, right? You want to be able to go in and, there is that any given Sunday mentality. You never know what kind of night the best team in the province is going to be having. And unfortunately, so far, it looks like not really an off night for Humber. So Conestoga is in a bit of a dogfight here against the Humber Hawks team, who is undefeated on the season and looking like it tonight as they are up by 22 points heading into the second half.
And we're going to get things going quickly here as Humber. It was a battle down low. And it'll go the way of Conestoga, but it was a nice shot and rebound by Bapti and then pass off to Chateau to try to get something going here to start off the second half. And just a couple of stats I really want to look at is the fact that Kaya Clark actually has 8 rebounds so far and has been having a dominant game down low in the paint. Make that 9 now, but it's just been stop after stop as Kia Watt and Kaya Clark trying to get something going here, get the offense rolling.
Yeah, and rolling has not been the word to describe the Condors' offenses. Humber makes a 3 courtesy of Kaya Clark. But for the Condors, you have 2 players who are right up there in terms of scoring. Yazzie Smith and Megan White. They have been quiet tonight. Those are also 2 very good rebounders for Conestoga, but that part of the Condors game has not taken flight either.
Yeah, you look at it, 5 points combined between the 2, and all 5 points there are for Yazzie. And on the defense, on the rebound side of things, they have 9 between each other, almost evenly split for Yazzie and 5 for Megan. A nice defensive effort right there by Chateau.
Yeah, we saw Chateau do that earlier in the game. That time did not lead to a turnover, but here she is with the rebound off the missed shot. Some great work from Chateau defensively.
It's that 2-way game that I keep referring to. She's so good on the defensive side, but as well, she can just explode when it comes to the offense and just score on the points. A really dynamic player that the Hawks picked up here for this season.
Also the daughter of Humber's athletic director, Ray Chateau.
3 now by Chateau. Ooh. Nothing but net. Her first points of the game.
Good looking 3 to get on the board for Chateau. Humber now up by 28 points here.
Conestoga trying to get something going. It's been very tough to get anything inside as Humber's defense has just been so strong. And once again, Kia Watt this time with the blocking. Going the other way is Nicole. Not going to be able to fall, though. And it's just back and forth action we have now. Megan White going up for the shot, not going to fall. Yazzie with the rebound, and the interior defense still holding strong for the Hawks as they're able to get it out. It's Bonnick carrying across the timeline. Spin move down low, not going to go. Nice.
A collective ooh from the whole crowd here at the Hawks Nest. That was nasty by Bonnick. Unfortunately, didn't quite get to finish that time, but we've seen her with a few of those earlier this evening.
Bonnick again down low, just holding strong. Yazzie trying to go for a shot, not going to be able to get anything going, and Humber's defense is just holding on tough right now.
It's got to be cool being a basketball player, Zach, as we get a nice bucket there from Kaya Clark. Bonnick does that spin move, and the whole gym collectively is oohing and on. That would feel pretty good to have that sort of command. Unfortunately, I can speak for myself, was not blessed with the grace to pull off a spin move like that.
I feel that you there, partner. But Humber, the defense has been sensational. There's another steal. Kia Watt gets the pass there from Kaya Clark. And I believe that's a timeout called by Conestoga. And what are we now? 4-ish minutes into the third quarter, and Humber has just took a grasp on this game.
And still no points from the Condors here in the second half. And that was a lot how the first quarter transpired. It was just kind of a stalemate. And there you see a good look at Dee Channer, head coach for the Condors, alongside her assistants, Doug Shank and Hunter Johns. But, I mean, this is a team, and you can maybe sense the frustration. You have such talent, and when it comes to scoring, Conestoga is right up there in the OCAA. They're about third and fourth in terms of points scored and points per game. But it just hasn't been there tonight, and obviously you got to give credit to Humber's defense for a lot of that.
Take another look here.
Humber's offense.
Before this play happened, it was a steal by Kaya Clark, and just feeding the ball up the court to Kia Watt. You see they're doing their cooking. They're cooking down there on the court.
Now, you know what I think is replay worthy is that Marley Bonnick spin move. She didn't finish it, but just to relive the
but it looked great.
If we can get that teed up. But but no need to rewind, because Bonnick, she's done that a few times tonight, so keep an eye on number 22 for Humber to maybe pull a bit more razzle-dazzle out of her back pocket.
In the last game, it was Molly Bonnick being the secondary scoring option for the Hawks. You know, Kaya Clark dropped 30, but Bonnick dropped 13 as well. So another strong physical player for Humber that just knows how to finish off when they're shooting.
So we have 2 shots coming up for Yazzie Smith. Bear is repeating, leads the OCAA in scoring. If you're just joining us here on the Hawks Sports Network, mentioned that tidbit a few times.
And it's kind of just been the story of the game, because if you have Megan White as well as Yazzie Smith just doing what they typically do, this game's a lot closer. But Humber had a game plan, and they're just executing it flawlessly. 3 defenders on Chateau. Kia Watt has an open attempt. Not going to take it, just drives the lane.
You mentioned the game plan is a beautiful move, and there's Bonnick ripping it away. White hits the deck once again.
Going over Crawford. She's going to post up for 3, not going to fall. But it was a nice Euro step by Sydney Crawford going to the net.
I like what you said about the game plan for Humber. They've had one, they're sticking to it. When you talk about Humber's head coach, AJ Sharma, I mean, I kind of get that Bill Belichick vibe, right? We got a guy who's kind of moving the chess pieces around as they get a steal from Crawford.
Shot
up there by Tasia Wareham. But just to finish my point, I mean, you certainly get a sense Humber's got a strong team, but it seems like Coach Sharma's putting them in the right position. Zach, we have an injured player on the court.
I believe that is Yazzie Smith.
Yeah, the OCAA's leading scorer. Looks like maybe she took a shot. We won't show the injury, but the good news is she's on her feet, and she wants to stay in the game. I
believe they're going to force her out of it. Obviously, she doesn't want to leave.
Just saw on the replay there. She's kind of holding her face, but she appears to be okay. She wants to play. I'm sure we'll see her check back in the game very soon here. Number 10, Yasmin Smith.
But you said it. You were referring to, AJ Sharma kind of being like the Bill Belichick for Humber, in the sense of, they build off of the defense, and they know how to really just shut down opposing offense.
Well, I mean, it's a very
big block by Kia Watt.
Excellent work there. But, I mean, we talk about Coach AJ Sharma, but I'm sure he's not the guy that would take all the credit. I mean, you have a deep assistant coaching staff for Humber, and there are some great basketball minds, some great former Humber players as well. CJ Nofuente, Alina Domingo. So a well-coached team for Humber, and it's paying off tonight as they are just racking up the points.
And Tasia is looking for her third consecutive bucket. Not going to fall there. We have 3 Hawks waiting to check into this one. As Conestoga trying to get something going.
There's White up top being guarded by Chateau as she gives Chateau a good shoulder, and that's an offensive foul. Big contact there.
Like you said, Yazzie coming right back on. That one didn't take too long staying off.
You know, I kind of
Another
like
look.
that.
Woo,
That's not
woo.
that block.
Big block.
Beautiful stuff. But you know, that foul we just saw there, Zach, and on the other end, the finish. Good bounce there. But you know, even though Megan White just picked up that foul, I kind of like her. She's been on the receiving end of lots of physical plays, and number 13 in black she kind of gave a hit out there. Ooh, as another play with a couple players hitting the floor.
Like you said, this could be getting a little bit more physical in this second half. Player showing it right there.
Yeah, it is a physical affair, and that seems to be working out in favor of the Hawks. They really haven't taken too many fouls on their physical play, but it really is a noticeable difference here, this sort of aggressive style of play. That was a beautiful back-end move there. Camila Oriana Larache.
And here we go back the other way. Brittany English going speed. Takes the puck and she got stopped by the big body of Megan White, but English, takes the little step back and sinks it.
Yeah, White is a strong player, and you got to maybe get the sense of some palpable frustration from number 13, who dishes the rock off to the league's top scorer down low.
And again, it's Sydney Crawford defending Smith. She's done such a good job coming off the bench playing defense. She has an open chance for a 3 now off the board. Bapti down low getting the board. The rebound and the basket. I mean, that's just Sarah Bapti in a nutshell.
Yeah, Bapti's been outstanding. I mean, you have a player with that kind of intensity, and she's also getting it done. Yeah, 6 points here tonight, contributing offensively, but really it's kind of the spirit that she's bringing to the team that I think is the greatest contribution. Here she is fighting hard on defense, but
Yeah.
maybe.
No, it was called a travel, and again, due to Bapti's strong play. I said it last year with another one of our colleagues, Manny, saying that, Sarah has a really good chance of being the defensive player of the year. She had a great chance of being the rookie of the year, just falling short, I believe, on both of those. But this year, again, I mean, she's proving that she can be a 5-tool kind of player.
You do broadcasts with somebody named Manny?
Manny.
I thought we were a team partner. No, I'm just kidding. Lots of great commentators here on the Humber Hawks staff. Tasia with a great basket. Now, Zach, if you had to put your finger on who might be the player of the game, do you have anybody that sticks out to you so far? I know Bapti is going to be off the top of my list.
Yeah, right. For me, it's really between Sarah Bapti and Sydney Crawford. Maybe a name out of left field, but coming off the bench to start the quarter, Crawford had 5 points, but it's just been the defense and shutting down Yasmin Smith that has caught my eye and has really been the difference maker this game.
Yeah, I think Kia Watt as well. She's, again, we've been talking about, she appears to be the fastest kid alive out there tonight, to use a super bad reference. Here come the Hawks.
Strong.
Zach, the Hawks are one basket away from a 40-point lead.
They've gone on a run for sure. 20, I believe the run right now is 20-4 in this quarter. And it's tough. Your 2 top scorers for the side of Conestoga have not been able to get anything going. And it's just that game plan that Humber has brought and just shutting both of them down. It has worked tremendously. And Bapti using the speed to go down low. No foul called, but Humber remains control. Del Mundo for 3, not gonna go. Rebounded by Warham. Nice little fadeaway J.
Fabulous work by Wareham, and the Hawks just seem to be in position. And again, game plan for the Hawks is just working in their favor.
Jaleisha Allen, some strong defense there on White. Step back shot, not gonna fall. And once again, Humber has just looked so strong on defense. Shot not going, but gets her own rebound. Once again, no, Del Mundo unable to get it. And the Hawks now just shooting, trying to get something. You can kind of see Sarah Baptiste out there on the court, quarterbacking everybody, saying, you got to run this way. Nice pass down low to Danielle Romani.
Give Baptiste the player of the game. There she is on your camera. Beautiful pass.
I'm throwing in the pen. I mean,
we're not on the voting committee, despite our lobbying efforts to be included in the decision-making process. But for what it's worth, Sarah Baptiste having an outstanding night so far.
Just the do-it-all attitude right now out of number 15 in White. Once again, just picking it up, and she's going to take it the other way.
To the hoop, Baptiste.
I think she thought it was a little bit less time remaining, but either way, rebounded and still scored.
I think she got some bad intel from the bench, and there's sort of some discussion going on the Humber bench.
You can kind of see the smiles and the laughter on the bench right there.
It was kind of like she was throwing it up for an alley-oop.
For a second, I thought somebody was going to go up and grab it. I was intrigued.
Jaleisha Allen's about to throw that thing down. Guess you can have a chuckle on the bench when you got a cozy lead, 42 points.
Jaleisha Allen trying to find something. Del Mundo, another three, not going to fall. Conestoga gets the rebound, and they're going to take it out, but that'll do it for the third quarter. And the lead, you said it, Humber has grown it, 63-21. It has just been a one-sided affair. All smiles over there on the Hawks bench. You know, some laughter as well. Maybe cracking some jokes on the Baptiste alley-oop attempt.
You know, for a half-court shot, it was
fairly close. Yeah, I mean, that's credit. Got to credit to her. It was a pretty good shot. It was a pretty good shot, considering the intel wasn't, the greatest. But after three, Humber looking really well positioned to go 9-0 here on the year. And there's only two undefeated teams, one being Algonquin and the other being Humber. And you see there on your screen some highlights from the third quarter. It's been a good game we've been treated to.
Chateau with that big three ball.
Really got things rolling there in the third.
Kia Watt's been outstanding. She's been really using her speed to get some points, but also dishing the ball. And there's Watt on the receiving end of a nice pass. And just gritty plays, Sydney Crawford. Sydney, don't call me Cindy Crawford with a beautiful finish. And there's Wareham with a nice drop as my broadcast partner, Zach Benoit, studies the stat sheet. What's jumping out to you, partner, after 3 quarters of play, statistics-wise?
Just looking at it, 2 steals off the bench by Crawford, 15 points off the bench by Wareham, and then you kind of look at Baptiste's stat line, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, and 6 points. She scored as well on top of doing everything else on the court.
Yeah, props to the Hawks, a dominating performance, and props to head coach A.J. Sharma, who's continuing to draw it up for the young ladies, as it has been all Humber. And, Zach, early in the game, it kind of seemed like, both teams are kind of playing a little sluggish, and quickly Humber dialed in, and we just have never seen the Condors, again, to use the phrase, take flight here tonight in the Battle of the Birds.
They haven't spread their wings and flown yet.
Not quite. And again, I don't know if you want to chalk that up to kind of the holiday time off, this being the first game in about a month of regular season play. But the Hawks have really tightened up, and you get the sense that this 42-point lead is perhaps insurmountable.
And trying to come out strong here in the fourth quarter, see if he can make that lead a little bit smaller, and that's a good start right there by Yazzie Smith. And looks like a jump ball will be held here. So the lead, like you said, 40 right now. And he looked at it coming in. I wanted to see the Hawks continue that strong defensive presence that has really been projecting them forward this season, and they just they took that that message that I said, and they've ran with it.
Yeah, no doubt. It's been all Humber. Sidney Crawford takes it away.
Crawford looked like a wide receiver there, picking off that one. Kia Watt looking for something. Kaya Clark in the corner for three. Nothing but net.
Beautiful. Good way for the Hawks to come off the bench here in quarter number 4.
Big block, no, going to be called a foul. And it's the year of 23, and 23 is again having herself a great game.
Here's Chateau bringing it down. This is a second look at that 3 ball, handed off.
Beautiful angle. Great angle right there.
Yeah, I've had some good shots here from the camera crew. Hawks Sports Network basketball continues after this game, and we have an absolute barn burner teed up between the men's squads here. The Conestoga Condors, Humber Hawks men's team taking the floor, and we have really just a fantastic matchup in terms of 2 of the best teams in the country. So stay tuned for that one here on HSN. Tip off at 8 o'clock.
Should be a good one. Cannot wait to watch it, that's for sure. Chateau still somehow keeping her feet. Unfortunately, just loses the ball. And it's Sidney Crawford once again, just the strong defense. It's been a hard one here for Yazzie Smith to get really anything going, and it's just been due to Crawford's just fantastic play on D.
Here's Chateau with the pass over to Watt. Watt being guarded by Yazzie Smith.
Take it the other way here is the Condors trying to get something. Down low is Doyle. Not going to fall. Rebounded by Bonnick, and they're going to take it the other way.
Doyle in hot pursuit. Ooh, fancy pass there from Bonnick.
Kia Watt for 3. Not going to go. Crawford coming out of nowhere, breaking up that one as Humber retains possession. Chateau down low. Count the bucket and the foul. Nicole Chateau, have yourself a game.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Kia Watt gets the player of the game here tonight, because she has just been doing some good scoring, but also the passing there. We just saw it to Chateau down low.
You could really give it to anybody on the team right now. It's
well,
just,
then could I maybe get the player of the?
I'll
you mean any of it?
I'd still give you the player of the game.
Thanks, partner.
Of course.
You mean a lot. It's been a rough start to 2020. No. All good. It's so good to have basketball back here, Zach. It's tough. The OCAA going on pause. No volleyball, no basketball for pretty much the whole month of December. So good to be back. Good to be here with you, partner.
Been a while since I've seen OCAA basketball. I think my last game was the early stages of November, maybe, I believe. Might have been the Condors actually last time. Can't remember, but it's been a while. Shot, shoulder shot, good. Right there.
Camila has been a very big bright spot for this Condors team, as Camila Oriana LaRoche with another bucket. She's been doing some good rebounding work too, number 21 in black. Yeah,
don't mistake this term for a Tim Hortons double-double, but she's on a double-double right now. 10 rebounds and over 10 points.
And it's been really an absence of the Condors' usual suspects. We haven't seen much out of Megan White at all. We've seen Yazzie Smith heating up a bit at times, but the Hawks just really doing a good job with some suffocating defense here.
Oh, nice step around. Marley Bonnick. Hit him with the 1-2.
Yeah. Got the Harlem Globetrotters theme song playing anytime she's working in the paint.
And just again on defense, they're just not allowing anything on the interior. Some shot up,
Ooh.
Sometimes you gotta bank it in. The bank was
Yeah.
open there, so Megan White took it, and that's actually her first points of the game.
And where they keep Megan White's money at?
The bank.
The bank. Bank shot for her first points of the game.
Yazzie Smith and Danielle Romani both checking in.
Zach, I think you'll be pleased to know that I spent a lot of our downtime in the December break there eating authentic Chinese food and dim sum.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Just got back from Winnipeg.
Shout out dim sum.
Lots of Chinese food.
Tasia Wareham. Nice little up and under move. Unfortunately, not able to get that one to drop. Trying to find something again. Oriana down there gets the bucket, and like you said, it's been a bright spot. Maybe the kindness when she said, "I'm sorry" to you earlier on is the good karma's coming through.
Oh, and we have a player taking a little extra time to get up. That's Rumla Abdallah. But she appears to be okay. Good news there.
Just got rolled up a little bit awkwardly there with Tasia Wareham. Don't believe there's any malicious intent there. It was just unfortunate.
Tangled up. Humber's lead now down to 41. They were knocking on the door of a 50-point lead just moments ago.
Out of bounds. And I believe it'll still be Condor's ball. And Nicole Chateau will be subbed on out. She's had herself a good game here.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised to see the Hawks maybe work in a few players who don't typically see as much playing time.
Give everybody some reps. Kia Watt.
Yeah,
just
running.
so much speed going down. Like I said earlier, this time it's Watt, though, catching it like a wide receiver and just taking off down the lane.
Run and gun. 2 more points for Watt. $13 on the night now for Watt. And Camila just misses another basket.
Out of bounds, and Conestoga, I believe, still has possession yet. It went off the fingertips of Danielle Romani. Out once again, and Conestoga still has control. Shot up, shot good. Jasmine Smith.
See what Tasia Wareham's cooking up. Passes over to Watts.
Brittany English trying to get that one off the bank, but the bank was closed today.
You mentioned earlier that English playing in her first game of the season. We've seen her walking around in that boot or crutches. And timeout now called by the Hawks. Is that lead now down to 39?
4 minutes, 24-ish seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. And, you know, we've been treated to a good one. Humber coming out strong in the new year. Their resolution was to continue to play as hard and physical as we can. We'll take another look here at the Condors getting a basket. It was Yazzie just cutting down low and getting the basket easily off the glass. But it's been a good game, Mr. Hamlin.
A good game indeed, partner. And you mentioned it was really a great way here. We're looking at Humber to start the new year. But, I mean, they finished off the old year pretty good, too. 8-0 and #1 team in the province. And when we take a look at those national rankings, #4 in the country. Now, the only other Ontario team in those the top 10 national rankings is the Algonquin squad.
Yeah, and
up
they're
in Ottawa.
Yeah, they're 7-0 only other undefeated team in the league. You want to hear a crazy stat? Humber has scored coming into tonight 613 points. No other team has surpassed 600. Closest team to them, I believe, is at 558. And that is St. Clair Saints. So Humber's offense is just so potent.
We'll look to keep that going right into the new year, right into March when the OCAA championships are held in Niagara College.
Tasia Wareham has been a nice addition right now off the bench for the Hawks. I believe that's 17 on the game for her off the bench. 2 shots. Yazzie Smith will go to the line.
Abby Trafford got a good look there. Number 3 for the Condors is checked in the game. So Yazzie's still pretty well on pace. You know, we talked about her leading the OCAA in scoring. 21.5 points per game is good for best scoring stat line in the province. And she's pretty close to that. Might see her if she has a productive 3 or 4 minutes here. Could be right on that pace, that marker that has her atop the province.
Yeah, has a chance to get that game average for sure, and that, you know, that might help her cause right there. Turnover there by the Hawks. Oh, never mind. It went off a fingertip or a hand of a Conestoga Condor. I need to get my glasses fixed.
Too strong for Wareham, grabs her own rebound. An unfriendly rim as far as Wareham is concerned.
Danielle Romani just lying in wait right there for that one. Gets the bucket. Conestoga trying to just get some offense, you know, end this game on a positive note. And Yasmin once again gets fouled. And she'll continue to go to the line, shooting too. First shot up, just off of the rim and out.
Yazzie's a 39% free throw shooter on the season. Goes 1 for 2 there.
Time dwindling down, just under 3 minutes now.
I think we got to put Bapti in to heave up another one from the logo. So I think we're in agreement. We'd be very happy to see Sarah Bapti as the recipient of the Player of the Game. We'll have to stay tuned to see who that is awarded to.
I think Kia Watt these last 2 quarters has made a strong showing for it.
And really facilitating on both ends.
Going down low and just nothing there, but another rebound.
But if we're talking Condors Player of the Game, I think it's no-brainer. Camila Oriana Larache has been outstanding tonight.
Fantastic, really down low and finishing it off. And travel called there on Romani. Maybe a dark horse for Player of the Game for the Hawks. You can look at Tasia Wareham. Coming off the bench, producing almost 20 points.
Quiet 20, 17 points right now she's got.
The jump shot from the shoulder kind of reminds me of an old Hawks player, Maya Campbell-Johnson, who really made that her forte and ran with it. One of the best players I've gotten to watch here in the Hawks nest.
Yazzie's now up at 20 points here today.
Del Mundo for 3, off of the rim, not going to go. Rebounded there by Abby. Going down low once again to Camila. No, not going to fall. Tasia gets the board in. Jeez. Off down the way. Just kind of Throws that one up there, just hits the rim and goes out. And kind of back and forth action here to end off the last 2 minutes of this basketball game between the Condors and the Hawks. And a floater, and that one goes in. Beth Fleming gets another one to fall for her. Trying to find something. He's Conestoga. Any positives?
You know, Beth Fleming leads the OCAA in minutes per game. Who sees a lot of action, carrying the ball up right now. Beautiful pass over to Trafford.
Trafford, there we go.
Yeah, certainly seeing a strong finish here from Conestoga. Now they're going to be hitting the court again on Sunday. They're going to be at home against the Lambton Lions, so perhaps a chance there to right the ship, and a beautiful block from our unofficial Condors player of the game, Camila Oriana Larache.
It's the good karma, I'm telling you. Good karma. She came over to you and said, I'm sorry for the name.
She apologized for a difficult to pronounce name, which is a first. Not had that happen before. But I reassured her, no, please, no apology necessary.
English with the three, not going to fall. And rebounded there by Tanya Damjanovic. "37 seconds left in the fourth quarter. The Hawks will go 9-0 to start the season. They're actually 9-0 currently right now against Conestoga at the North Campus. So they've been holding a strong record. They'll continue that one. They'll go 10-0 there, but 9-0 in the regular season. Have looked so very strong on both sides of the ball. Obviously, there was a little bit of rust to shake off in that first quarter. But other than that, they have been playing phenomenal basketball all the way around, defense and offense. Going here in the last 10. See what happens. Going down low to Camila. No, not going to be able to get it. It'll go out of bounds. The Hawks will get the ball, and that should very well do it there, Matt.
Yeah, up next for the Hawks. They'll have to wait a week to play next Wednesday. They're traveling to Hamilton. They'll take on the Mohawk Mountaineers in the Hammer. But I'm sure Humber would like to play, tomorrow. I mean, they have got the groove as the final shot of the game. Final score, 78-46.
And we got more WWE themes going. This time it's
Seth Rollins?
Seth bleeping Rollins. Can't say that one. But that'll do it for the women's side of things as the Humber Hawks take it. Score 78-44.
And we'll hang on for the player of the game announcement because we've been teasing it.
We have our bets down for sure.
Number 14, Tasia Wareham.
It was the dark horse. The dark horse.
You nailed it. Honorable mention, number 15, Sarah Bapty.
It was all around phenomenal play. You see they're so happy. So happy. Don't blame them. So that does it for the first game of our two here in the doubleheader against Conestoga. Stick around, go get yourself a drink, maybe make yourself some dinner. We have the men's team coming up, and it's a game you don't want to miss. Give it about 30-ish minutes, and we will be back. So
be a good one.
Stay tuned.